Good evening. Welcome to the December 14th City Council meeting. I'd like to have Reverend Mike come up and lead us in prayer.
Thank you guys for the privilege. Heavenly Father God, we ask that you be present with us here today as we seek your wisdom and offer it in the meeting. We ask that you help us to lead and guide the citizens of our town. We ask your blessings upon this council and the deliberations they make today, upon those visiting here with us. We ask your blessings upon our first responders, our police and firemen who do such a good job, and we ask that they might be safe along with their families and those they protect. Thank you for the moisture we have received this morning. We ask your continued watching over our town and all of its aspects and our counties. And these blessings we ask today in Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Mr. Cronin, will you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 2 is attendance roll call.
Peterson. Swager.
Here.
Crone.
Here.
Alvidrez.
Here.
Livingood.
Here.
Hawkins. Mr. Mitchell.
Here.
Mr. Petty.
Item number 3 is approval of the consent agenda.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda. I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second?
Alvidrez.
Aye.
Livingood.
Aye.
Crone.
Aye.
Swager.
Aye.
We have 4 ayes.
Item number 4 is public comments and announcements.
I'll be the quick part. I just want to announce the ladies will give you all a quick presentation. Select Communications is who does a lot of work for us on our website, on our CCR, some of the brochures that we put out, our Facebook postings, Twitter, a lot of the things that y'all see from them, and they'll give you a quick update real quick. Kim Newcomer is the founder, and Kristen, I'm looking at her card, I'm looking at her face, I know what she looks like, are the ones that do the work with us, and they'll give you a quick presentation on that as well.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Council, for having us here. It's really nice to be here in person and get the chance to chat with you tonight. We will be quick, I promise, but just wanted to share a little bit about who we are at Slate and what we've been doing over the last year for communications and where we're heading next year. So again, I am Kim, this is Kristen. Slate Communications is a public relations communications firm that works exclusively with local governments. So what we do is try to connect elected officials like yourself and local government to the residents that they serve. With the city of Guymon, there's a quick presentation behind me that you cannot see, but will be emailed to you, I believe, afterwards. Really, our goals over the last year were to create a strong foundation for communication moving forward. When we came onto the contract, we were in the process of developing a new website, in the process of creating some standard communication tools and practices around social media and whatnot, and also really trying to figure out new ways to connect with your residents. And I'll let Kristen talk about some of the specifics of last year.
Yes, so some of the highlights from 2017 include launching the Access Guymon e-newsletter, and we also were involved in helping with the redesign and relaunch of the City of Guymon's website. We've done some mailers that were inserted in bills to include the water quality report, and produced some newspaper ads, and have really stepped up the social media messaging for the community as well. We have been involved in the last 3 months producing the community pride campaigns for October, November, and December. We launched a Flickr site, which is an online photo sharing website for the city, utilizing bill inserts, producing brand guidelines, and writing press releases on behalf of the city as well. So looking ahead to 2018, I was gonna give a little overview of kind of what this looks like as far as by the numbers, the work that we've done over the last year. And since the new website relaunched on October 9th. We've had over 10,000 visitors and over 18,000 unique page views on the website, which is quite high. And as far as the newsletter is concerned, we started with 0 since it was a new website and have built that list to over 300. And I just heard that we have another 100 or more to add after last week's holiday event. You have an average open rate of 40%, so that means that 40% of the readers are opening the document to read the newsletter, which is a really high open rate. And since we started, we've sent out 4 newsletters this year. The social media overview shows that we've had a 4% increase in followers on Facebook and a 10% increase on engagement with Twitter. So looking ahead to 2018, we are going to help produce an annual report. So that's annual report of 2017 beginning in 2018, and continuing to refine and improve a communications plan and a timeline for implementation, as well as working with IBTS to enhance performance metrics reporting and continue with website enhancements. So with that, we'll open it up for questions. Super fast, quick overview of our work this year.
I got a question. Can we ask questions, sir?
You may.
Okay. I want to make sure. The news releases, do they go through the city manager before they are released?
Yes.
Okay,
So we do, or David.
okay.
Even the ones that they do, they don't happen until they go through us.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Anybody else?
Okay, I'll just say thank you again for the opportunity to work with you, and we're really looking forward to doing even more next year.
Looking forward to new and improved. They're going to help us with our election that's coming up in February. So we're looking forward to having the help there.
Yeah,
You'll be
definitely.
hearing more from us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other public comments or announcements? Okay. Item number 5 is a monthly presentation of activities and financial reports from Artist Incubation.
Our projects for the month of November was a grant was approved for our kitchen for $10,000 from the Cherokee Foundation. The Oklahoma Art Council grant approved towards a Christmas open house. That was last week. We had held 2 Christmas open house merchant meetings, and we also had a miniature art show that was held November 18th. We've had 227 volunteer hours working on our events in the month of November. Our upcoming planning for events is we have a retreat and annual planning for 2018 coming up in January. We are now offering an annual club card for a kids' art camp. It's like a whole year worth just with one purchase. With our marketing, we have our outdoor updated for a miniature art show using the city logo, the radio using city taglines, print using city logo, social media using city logo, November newsletter also using the city logo. Now I'd just like to say thank you so much for your support.
Thank you. Item number 6 is presentation of monthly activities and financial report from Main Street Guymon.
Well, in November, we had our cash mob and we had our lunch mob. There were 5 and 10 that ended at those. We went to the Beauty and the Beast and to Vallarta's. Probably one of the biggest things was I did have to go to a training, mandatory training, and it was in Durant. So that took most of 1 week, and it was a good training. But I also went with the Upward Bound kids from OPSU, and those are under Terry Mora, and Main Street had nominated them for a Keep Oklahoma Beautiful Award, and they won. So we're pretty proud of them. But then they had an overall, and it was the 3 people of all the awards given. There were 3 that were picked as finalists, and Upward Bound actually was chosen as one of those. They didn't win the big one, but that was a big deal. We took our Transformers to Stomp. It's a Broadway play thing in Amarillo. That was very interesting. It really was. And I loved it, to be truthful. But, our Aggie family's going well. In fact, right now, the Aggie families with the football players work so well that the baseball, we're working with them now. But what I handed you, we did a shop small thing in November, and we've not done well with our retail events in the past, and I actually think that this was one of our best ones that we've ever had. Part of it came from the business meetings that we were doing with the Bank of the Panhandle, and it moved into a shop local committee. And so I just put this together so you could see this was what went out to them, and we had all of these were in on it. Now, others might have been open, but these were the ones that helped hand out bags and things. And then I put some of the emails that came back about it. We're also doing some fixing up at the office. The paint had been peeling and the windows had come uncaulked, and so we're doing some maintenance, which is needed after 10 years. Do you have any questions? Nothing? Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much.
Hope you all enjoy.
Item number 7 is public hearing on the proposed budget for fiscal year 2018. Mr. Mitchell?
I think you have to proceed with opening for public hearing for anyone who would like to make any comments concerning our upcoming budget for 2018.
Do we have any comments for our public, for our budget for 2018? Anybody like to speak on it? I guess not.
Then you need to close.
Okay.
Close 7.
Okay.
We're on to 8.
Do I need to have a motion?
Yes.
Do I have a motion to close item number 7 then?
Make a motion, we close the public hearing.
Second.
I got a motion and a second.
Living Good,
Aye.
Crone,
Aye.
Alvedras.
Aye.
Swager.
Aye.
We have 4 ayes.
Item number 8 is discussion of proposed operating budget for fiscal year 2018.
Thank you. I gave you a couple of handouts. The first handout is a revised summary, the long legal sheet, 11 by 17. That's an updated budget summary from Marcy. After we had the budget workshop last week, the council made about $38,000 in changes, and that budget summary reflects the changes that you suggested from last week. And those budget changes had to do with reducing several items, expenses on the expense side, reducing lake stocking expense for $12,000, chamber sponsorship by $5,000, Prezi funding by $2,500, Main Street funding by $7,500, and Artist Inc. funding by $11,000. So those changes have been made. And then we will have a special meeting on the 21st of next week to consider adopting the budget, pending any other changes or revisions the council may want to make. The second handout I gave you, the 8 by 10 sheets, is a summary of our revenue and expense experience for the month of November. On the top, you'll see the general fund revenue and expense report. Again, our issue with the general fund is sales tax. Our sales tax for the year is going to be down around 4%, and that summary is attached to that first section. So we've collected approximately 4% less than we did the prior year, and the prior year was down. So city sales tax has been down for the last 2 years. I think it was down about 6% in 2017. So over the last 2 years, sales tax has been down, continues to trend downward. Over that 2-year period, it's about 10% drop. And then attached to that, the last section of your handout is the general Guymon Utility Authority revenue and expense. And the big item there is the gas sales, and we continue to track well below what the city collected 4 years ago. And I'm not quite sure why, but 4 years ago, gas sales were around $5 million, and the city hasn't been close to that number for the last 3 years. Last year, it was barely over $4 million. We reduced our estimates by $500,000, and we're not going to meet that target. So for 2018, we're reducing that estimated revenue by another $500,000. So hopefully in 2018, we'll be able to find the floor and start making some improvement on that. But those are the two major factors impacting your budget for 2018, is the drop in sales tax and the drop in gas sales under the Guymon Utility Authority. So with that, if you have any other questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them, but I think we're ready to proceed with doing all the detail for the budget, and we'll have the documents prepared for your consideration for next Thursday evening.
Do you remember if the gas sales were lower for this year than they were for last year too?
Well, I don't have final month, but they're pretty close. I think last year was actually a little bit lower than this year. But they haven't tracked close to that high that you had in 2013, 2014.
We're on track for compliance, meeting our deadline, or
Yes, we are.
deadlines.
Our deadline is that we have to adopt the budgets at least 7 days prior to the end of the fiscal year. So it has to be adopted by the 23rd. And next Thursday is the 21st, so hopefully we'll be able to adopt the budget next Thursday. The other comment I'd like to make is that late this afternoon, we reached an agreement with IBTS for their budget for 2018, and I think that's good news for both IBTS and the city, and we've been able to reduce their operating budget for the coming year by about 4.5%. So now we have to tackle the remaining narrative and the outline of services that IBTS will provide to the city, and hopefully we'll have that contract in front of you no later than the second meeting in January. Part of that delay is because Don Howell underwent knee surgery, had a knee replacement, and he's gradually recovering from that operation. He still has some pain, and I think he's heavily medicated right now, so difficult to have a rational conversation with him. So we decided that we might hold off on trying to recraft language in the agreement until he starts recouping from his
He's the
surgery.
only one with the authority to do that?
No, but he's the regional manager, and I feel more comfortable having him work through those changes. And he plans to be here in January when that agreement is on your agenda for your consideration.
Any other discussions? Item number 9 is discussion and possible action on approval of master agreement between the City of Guymon and Garver LLC for professional services for improvements at the Guymon Municipal Airport. It's project number 160-71371.
I've looked over this, and this is a really good investment on City of Guymon's part from the viewpoint that doing the repairs right now and the, just the cost of everything, doing it all at one time, and with Guymon only being responsible for 5% and OAC taking care of the rest under the guidelines of FAA and OAC, it's a really good move for our airport.
Any other discussions or questions?
I make a motion that we approve the master agreement between the City of Guymon and Garver LLC Professional Services for Improvements at the Guymon Municipal Airport, project number 160-71371, item 9. Second.
I got a motion and a second.
Crone,
Aye.
Alvedras,
Aye.
Living Good,
Aye.
Swager.
Aye.
We have 4 ayes.
Item number 10 is discussion and possible action on approval, we just did, approval for number 1 for the installed runway lighting and ODALS project at the Guymon Municipal Airport.
This item is for the engineering design for the lighting project, which is the first project up in the 5-year, identified in the 5-year plan. And you have in your packet the contract with Garver Engineering for their total fees for design and construction documents, $86,000.
And that is over a 5-year period?
Well, this is the first project in that 5-year program, right?
Okay.
LED lights, MIRLs with heaters.
Any other questions, discussion?
I make a motion that we approve work order number 1 for the install runway lighting, ODALS project, Guymon Municipal Airport, item 10. Second.
Got a motion and a second?
Crone,
Aye.
Alvedras,
Aye.
Living Good,
Aye.
Swager.
Aye.
We've got 4 ayes.
Item number 11 is discussion and possible action to approve the renewal of the following agreements and contracts. Does anybody have any questions or concerns about the list underneath those contracts?
We would ask that there are 2 contracts be tabled until your next meeting.
Not on this one.
That's on, this is 11.
Not on this
Oh,
That's
not
on
on this
12.
one? I'm sorry. On 12. I'm ahead of myself.
So, do I have a motion?
Make a motion, we approve the contracts under item 11.
Second.
I may have a motion and a second.
Alvedras,
Aye.
Crone,
Aye.
Living Good,
Aye.
Swager.
Aye.
We have 4 ayes.
Item number 12 is discussion and possible action to approve the renewal of the following leases for the term of 1 year. And I understand that
Yeah.
Mr. Mitchell wants to pull item number 12-1 on the Softball Association and item number 12-12, the Girls Softball Association.
Right, and the reason for us asking that you table these 2 is we're having issues with the water usage at the softball fields, and we need to visit with the association about placing a cap on the amount of water they can use.
Does anybody have any questions or concerns on that list for those leases?
Do we need a motion to pull those 2, or do we just?
Yes.
I'll make a motion, we pull 12-1 and 12-12, I believe it was.
Second.
I got a motion and a second.
Alvedras,
Aye.
Crone,
Aye.
Living Good,
Aye.
Swager.
Aye.
We've got 4 ayes.
I make a motion that we approve the rest of the items and the rest of the leases in item 12.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second.
Living Good,
Aye.
Alvedras,
Aye.
Crone,
Aye.
Swager.
Aye.
We've got 4 ayes.
Item number 13 is discussion and possible action on renewal of lease agreements for equipment and property. Does anybody have any questions or concerns on these leases?
I do. Item 1310, it's for 50 golf carts. Are we going to look into possibly a program where we can exchange some of those out a year? That way we don't have to do it all at one time.
I think there's a lease purchase contract on these, and that's, those are the ones where the bank provides the money on good faith that the council will renew each year. So, it's a matter of just retaining your credit standing with the lenders. These, in the absence of some really malfunction, should be approved.
Well, I think that's worth consideration. I think, though, the 50 that are in this lease, I think there's at least 1 year, maybe 2 years left on that lease arrangement.
There's two.
So there may be a way to phase replacement over a 5-year period versus buying 50 at once or leasing 50 at once. That makes some sense to me.
Just over time, a lot of that equipment out there, if you have driven out there and seen it or golfed, I mean, you see it's not going to last very long. We need to start
Some sort of replacement.
some sort of replacement program, which I thought we were going to get that started this year, and we haven't. So keep that in mind.
Well, we still have to approve these leases, though.
Yep. I make a motion that we renew lease agreements in item 13.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I got a motion and a second.
Crone,
Aye.
Alvedras.
Aye.
Livingood.
Aye.
Swager.
Aye.
We've got 4 ayes.
Item number 14 is reports and comments for the city manager and council members. Mr. Mitchell?
Friendly reminder, we do have a special meeting next Thursday night for the purpose of adopting a budget, and I would also request that we have an executive session next week to discuss pending real estate issue. And I will ask the city attorney to help me draft the language for that executive session item.
Any other comments from the council?
The water leak that was on Main, good job by city staff getting that handled in a timely manner.
Thank you.
Opening up Main Street, good job on that. And the parks, as always, all the grooming that's happening at the parks and the trees, usually you can't see through those. Looks really good. Good job.
Any other comments?
I'm not sure exactly what I'm talking about, but the Christmas lights out at Sunset Lake really looked nice. I understand it was a garden club that was behind that possibly,
That's correct.
but kudos to them. And I'd like to see it in a lot of the parks, maybe Cross Park as well as Sunset. That was a great deal.
Any other comments? Okay. Item number 15, new business. Have any new business? We'll stand adjourned. And we'll go to regular meeting, the Guymon Utilities Authority. We've done items 1, 2, and 3. Items number 4 is public comments. Item number 5 is a note and minutes received permit number SL 000070170828 for the construction of one lift station with two 650 GPM submersible pumps, 4,534 linear feet of 15-inch PVC sanitary sewer line, 5,153 linear feet of 8-inch PVC force main, 137 linear feet of 8-inch HDPE force main with 12-inch steel casing in all apparatuses to serve the city of Guymon, Texas County, Oklahoma.
Get some water.
Repeat that, I didn't get it.
So,
This is your DEQ permit to allow you to proceed with the next item on your agenda.
It's a must-have.
A must-have, yes.
As noted.
I make a motion that we approve item 5.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second?
Living Good,
Aye.
Alvedras,
Aye.
Crone,
Aye.
Swager.
Aye.
We have 5 ayes.
Item number 6 is discussion and possible action on awarding bid for the Phase 129 lift station in Forest, Maine to serve southeast Guymon, the Hurleyman project.
This is our final project under the 2015 revenue bond. And we've met all our compliance requirements for issuance of that bond and spending the money. We, based upon this letting, we'll have over 90% of those funds committed. The requirement was that we have at least 80% of those funds either under contract or expended by February of 2018. So this is the final project under that revenue note, or revenue bond. And we agree with the engineer's recommendations on awarding the contracts. The project is broken into 3 components, and we agree with the engineer's recommendation on how to award each portion of that project.
Anybody got any questions, comments? Do I have a motion?
It's all in there in the summary and recommendations.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Do I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to award bid for the Phase 129 lift station in Forest, Maine to serve southeast Guymon, Hurleyman.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second?
Alvedras,
Aye.
Living Good,
Aye.
Crone,
Aye.
Swager.
Aye.
We've got 4 ayes.
Item number 7 is new business. Item number 8 is adjourn, and we'll reconvene as the Guymon Airport Authority, a special meeting. We've taken care of item number 1. Item number 2 is to approve the minutes of the special meeting of October 12th, 2017.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes, special meeting October 12th, item 2.
I'll second it.
I got a motion and a second.
Living Good,
Aye.
Alvedras,
Aye.
Crone,
Aye.
Swager.
Aye.
We've got 4 ayes.
Item number 3 is the discussion and possible action on approval of master agreement between the City of Guymon and Garver LLC for professional service for improvements at the Guymon Municipal Airport.
Make a motion that we approve master agreement between the City of the Guymon and Garver LLC, item 3.
Second.
Got a motion and a second.
Crone,
Aye.
Alvedras,
Aye.
Living Good,
Aye.
Swager.
Aye.
We've got 4 ayes.
Item number 4 is discussion and possible action on approval of work order number 1 for the installed running lighting and ODALS project at the Guymon Municipal Airport.
I make a motion that we approve work order number 1 for the install runway lighting, item 4.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second.
Living Good,
Aye.
Alvedras,
Aye.
Crone,
Aye.
Swager.
Aye.
We've got 4 ayes.
Item number 5 is new business. Any new business? We'll stand adjourned.
Very good.
Thanks, everybody, for coming. Appreciate it.